Heroes on Horseback, we're in our 11th year. It was started by some wonderful women in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And they started out with 4 children, a few horses, and I think 20 volunteers. And now, 11 years later, we have over 250 volunteers. We'll serve over 300 children this year. And we've got some wonderful horses. It's been 6 years ago now, we became a premier accredited center of PATH, which is our professional organization. It stands for Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship International.
If I think of disability, I think that's something that's broken.
I just think it's when we focus on the things that our children can't do instead of the things that they can do.
And the more I'm around other people with disabilities, I realize that they have a different set of gifts.
What we do, we ride a horse out in nature and we get exercise. Just think of the benefit they get from being outside as opposed to a clinical setting. The child's heartbeat takes the heartbeat of the horse, so it's very calming. Also, the hips move in 3-dimensional like we do, up and down, back and forward, and rotational. So you take a child that has cerebral palsy and they get here and their legs are so tight, they're scissored and they're constricted. And we lay them down on the horse and we let those legs relax over the croup and we slowly sit them up. And then they ride that horse for 45 minutes, as if their own hips had walked for 45 minutes. So it's easy to see how that limbers that child up, how that child can gain movement and now throw a ball or move a leg or stand and build muscle strength, build core strength and balance, not to mention the confidence and the esteem.
My boy that I work with, I'm not gonna call my child name. At first, last year, he would not get on a horse. The only horse he got on was a wooden horse. And this year, my baby's able to get on a horse and ride. That's the one I love the best.
He stood up on Lacey just holding his arms outright, and that he just had such pride at that moment and just looked so beautiful.
We had a young man and he rode with us. He was ASD on the spectrum, autism spectrum. Of course, he was, at the time he started riding with us, he was nonverbal, this, that, and another thing. Terribly, his sensory thing was you couldn't touch him. He came out to get on his pony, and when he got on his pony, he literally just collapsed over the neck and hugged Blue Eyes. I couldn't believe it. And all of a sudden you hear, Blue Eyes, and you hear him talking again. Whoa, the mother's really just streaming and crying now, and I go over and I'm like, there's no crying at the barn, there's no crying. She says, you don't realize this, you just don't understand. Before he came here, he never hugged anything. Blue Eyes is the first thing he ever hugged. Not the family pet, not his brothers and sisters, not his parents, not his grandparents, Blue Eyes. Now he hugs his family. I hurt my hand the other day. He showed me empathy. He just went through 3 weeks of not speaking a word. He just talked on Blue Eyes. Woo, what you gonna say?
Heroes on Horseback has impacted my life in an amazing way. 5 years ago, I was hired for the program, had never done this kind of work before, and now I'm tearing up. Because I've always been with horses all my life and never seen what they can really do for children with disabilities. And now it's made me want to continue on and help children that are having problems or adults.
At the end of the day, they're still kids just like everybody else. They didn't choose to be this way and they can't control it.
It's how the person looks at a disabled person. It's how that person reacts on their behavior. I do not classify disabled because all people, all children are the same in my eyes.